So get this. The city where you grew up in was just attacked and destroyed by a giant monster. You find out you've been transported 1,000 years into the future because of said monster. And to top it all off, the only person who you managed to become friends with in this strangely primitive future so far has just been separated from you by cause of, yep, you guessed it, that same damn giant monster again. In other words, the situation sucks and you're completely over it. When you finally come to an unknown amount of time later, you're greeted by the sound of seagulls as you gaze up into the big, beautiful blue sky. Before you even get a few seconds to enjoy this peaceful moment, you get pelted in the back of the head. You're about ready to throw hands until you turn around and see a group of friendly faces calling you over from a serene little beach. They seem pretty chill. There's certainly a lot of worse sights you could have turned around to. And wait a second. Is that a blitzball? The one common connection between the place you grew up and this foreign new world you currently find yourself to be in? Man, things just keep getting better. After doing what you do best and showing off your blitzball skills a bit, you decide to make your way over there and swim over towards them. They seem really impressed with your skills. One of them introduces themselves as Waka, the coach and captain of the blitzball team, the Besaid Aurochs. He gets the sense you're pretty hungry, so invites you back to the village for a bite to eat. You briefly question his intentions along with his haircut, but then quickly realize you're wearing shorts with holes in them, so you can't really talk. Plus, he seems like a nice guy, so you decide to go with him. After all the shit you've dealt with recently, the ambiance of this place is making it seem like a mini paradise, more and more by the moment. You may not really know where you are, or even when you are, but the tranquil setting of this calm beach you're in combination with the new friends you've just met, start to help you feel at ease. There's nothing else you can really do right now besides just go with the flow and enjoy the surroundings. And by God, are they some gorgeous surroundings to enjoy. JRPGs take you to a variety of super interesting, exotic locations over the course of their journeys. This includes stuff like fiery volcanoes, icy mountains, floating cities in the sky, and much, much more. Out of all the unique places they take you though, one of my favorites has definitely gotta be the relaxing beach setting. As is probably obvious with the tone of this channel, I'm a pretty chill and laid back dude, so environments like this really resonate with me. There's just something so calming about them. I mean, given that beaches are often associated with relaxation in real life, this is pretty fucking obvious, but still. In a genre that largely deals with killing monsters, it just feels nice to take a little break from it all. And even when beach environments are incorporated into battles and dungeons, it just makes them that much more enjoyable to traverse through. I really love that contrast between engaging in combats and lush, vibrant visuals in the background, along with tranquil, ambient music. It's just a really cool atmosphere and something I wish games did a lot more of, instead of always having fights take place in more typical battleground type locations or basic dungeon environments. For example, the first disc of Lost Odyssey is one of my favorite JRPG experiences ever, largely in part due to all the brighter, outdoorsy locations it takes you to. Right after a scenic, mountain hike of a dungeon, the game then takes you to the Sea of Boss, or Baus, I don't know, I forget what it's called.
I think I made it.
Which is basically just a giant, really chill, tropical, beach-like setting. I absolutely love this segment of the game. I remember getting here and just thinking to myself, damn, this is shaping up to be one of my favorite JRPGs ever so far. Hopefully it keeps up. Unfortunately, from Disc 2 and onwards, the game starts featuring a lot of darker and more dimly lit locations, like caves and darker industrial cities and stuff like that. It started to lose some of that magic that partly helped me fall in love with the game in the first place. I still think Lost Odyssey is an amazing game and I'm very fond of it, but little stuff like this just hold it back from being one of my absolute all-time top favorites. Granted, I know I'm biased and have a soft spot for brighter, vibrant environments, so this isn't a reflection of the quality of the game, just my personal taste. This is also probably why games like Chrono Cross and Final Fantasy X not only have some of my favorite settings out of any JRPGs ever, but are just some of my favorite JRPGs, period. Actual context and quality of the game aside, the vivid colors of the tropical atmosphere just do so much to immerse me in. Beautiful and engaging atmospheres like these just go a long way in helping the game stick with me over the years, long after the fact. I mean, it's to the point where you could throw a beach segment in literally any JRPG, and it's pretty much a guarantee that I'm gonna love that part of the game. Like Costa del Sol from Final Fantasy VII, so chill. The Kajara Sea Falls from Tales of Xillia, fuck yeah. Planet Elistia from Rogue Galaxy, say no more fam, I just wish that it wasn't optional and that you gotta spend more time there. Ys 8 had the right idea. The entire game takes place on a giant, tropical island with tons of beaches and beautiful scenery everywhere. It made the exploration in that game extremely satisfying and an absolute joy. Destiny Islands from Kingdom Hearts is another great example. I'm not even a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, but even I can't deny that Destiny Islands is one cozy-ass place to begin an epic journey. Rim Elm from Legend of Legaia is pretty comfy too. It's a quiet little beachside village encompassed by a giant wall, protecting them from monsters. Well, it doesn't end up being very effective, but before that at least, it's a really peaceful place. You start the game just hanging with your girlfriend and sparring with your martial arts master on the beach. What's not to love about it? Outside of the aesthetic of beaches, sometimes they actually play into the gameplay as well. In Final Fantasy VII, beaches on the world map started to signify where you could land your ship and get off to explore. Other games may have done this before Final Fantasy VII, I'm not 100% sure, but it was the first game in the Final Fantasy series to do so at least. This carried on through 8 and 9, and inspired a lot of later PlayStation RPGs in the process. Given that traditional overworld maps are nearly dead these days, this is hardly the case anymore, but it was in the past. Speaking of the beaches in Final Fantasy games, I liked how you could sometimes encounter different enemies there compared to other normal spots on the world map. Final Fantasy VIII has one of my favorite examples of this. You could battle basic enemies in the fields for 1 AP apiece like some peasant, or you could take a little stroll to the nearby beaches and battle those fish enemies for 3 AP apiece instead like an absolute Chad. They can be a little annoying to fight, but the AP is well worth it. All in all, no matter if it's a town, a dungeon, or just a spot on the world map, beaches and JRPGs always seem to find a way in my memories and stick with me. And yeah, there's really not much else I can say about them. For such an obscure topic as this, I'm surprised I even squeezed this much out of it. I just really love these settings, and I hope others do too. So, raise your pina colada, your margarita, your mojito, whatever. Here's a toast to beaches and JRPGs. May your relaxing ambiance and gorgeous scenery continue to calm gamers for many more years to come. And that about wraps up this video. Thanks for watching everyone, we hope you enjoyed it. I feel like a lot of our subscribers usually like when we do these really random, obscure JRPG topics, but they don't get as many views as some of our other types of videos, so with this one in particular, it would really mean a lot if you could either hit that like button, or leave a comment below with how you feel about beaches and JRPGs. And hey, if you really want to go the extra mile, sharing it somewhere on social media would be really awesome and do a lot to help us grow. Some of you guys already do this, and we can't thank you enough. Seriously, it means a lot. As always, huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. Your generosity is very much appreciated. Other than that, hope you have an awesome day, everyone. This is Gaming Productions. Until next time.